Hey guys, thanks for stopping in the garage today, and this is going to be another episode in a series of sort of shop talk, which is, like a vlog, right? Kind of like working on projects and stuff and talking about stuff and asking questions and sharing and whatever. So updates and everything, and so this is really, I'm working on a couple of projects where I'm rearranging the yard and cleaning up, and some of you guys know the nightmare I've created out there. Some of you guys think it's like Toyland. Not Toilet Land, Toyland. Well, I know my neighbors probably think more it's like the Toilet Land. It's like, what is this guy doing over here? Anyway, but I got a couple of questions for you guys on this one tractor. So I'm going to be outside fooling around with the tractor and take the plow off my tractor. We're going to load on the forks that I made for it so I can move these derelict tractors that some of them don't roll. The idea is to clean up back there and somehow get them to roll. I want a bunch of rollers, at least. If they don't start and run, they better be able to be moved around somehow, and some of them we can only move with the tractor, right? My tractor right now. So we're gonna do that. The questions are gonna be put to you guys, I think, in the video, but just as a preface to kind of get you guys rolling and thinking. First thing is, I got this red tractor. The guy left it here about 2 years ago. What do you guys think? I'll tell you the story when we get into the video. So I want to know what you guys think about that. When does it become mine? Like, there's no physical contract. So that's one. Hold on, let me grab my coffee. And we'll get into the other question. So I'll give you guys that story when we get into the video. And the other thing is, I mentioned in the video, I just want to clarify that this thing's stuck. So I just want to clarify it, right? So I had it up in the air, and I can't find any way to disengage and put it into neutral. We think something broke. I don't really remember. Again, I'll describe it in the video, but just to make it clear, when you turn the wheel one way, let's say you're standing behind it, right? This is a wheel, and you turn it one way, the other wheel goes in the opposite direction. And for those of us that know a little bit about rears and gears, like an open differential, that will happen. But the wheels will spin independent of one another. This one, when I spin it this way and the other one goes that way, that's it, they're hard locked like that. So you can't move it. You can't move it forward, you can't move it back because they're opposing each other. Almost like it's kind of like a weird parking brake scenario. That's another question, we'll get into that. So I set it up with a nice big long clasp there, hitch pin. And then this one you don't have to take out, right? Once you drop it down, you don't need the tractor to drop it. So you drop it until you start to see slack in here, and then that'll pull right out after you pull that pin. So I figure, and it goes in nice, greased it all up. I figured I'd dedicate this ammo can because I got a whole bunch of things that are now for this tractor, little bits and bobs. It's not that bad, it's not that heavy. I didn't even back up the tractor. You just slide it off, just like that. And then we can get in down here. What I want to do is I want to pull those bolts out, and then I want to get in all the way down here. We did these. And I may actually want to make these shoes a little bit bigger. You can see that they were wider, so we might want to add in another piece. They were cut, and I did that, but we got a broken bolt. I want to get in there, clean all that out. We'll clean up the blade and everything, put it back, maybe put some extra shoes on here, and then we can get in there and wax and grease that up a little bit more because I was only able to get in that far. But just leave it outside, and we'll rinse it off, and we'll take care of that this coming year. And this I try to keep in decent shape. It kind of dives into the ground if I cut the lawn too low, but for the most part, it's not a big deal. Who cares, right? And eventually I'll make something a little bit different, but what's the point, right? This thing just stays on there. We can always tweak the deck to change the deck ratio, the ratio of the deck going up and down, maybe someday to this thing going up and down. I haven't really looked at that. All right, I'll go cut my lawn now. In peace. Come here, you. Okay, let me get my for it. Pull them back and hold them there, and we'll be ready. All I need to do is just weld some big washers or something on those bolts down there. They're just to tighten things up a little bit. They're not really necessary. And I just keep some extra rigging on here. I have more that I usually hang on it. Just a little bit pain in the neck to open up, like to get to the oil, which I need to check regularly because she's a smoker, right? She drinks, she's a drinker. Right? She's got a little bit of an oil issue, She likes to drink a little extra oil. But she deserves it. Anyway, not bad. Check out my video on how I made these. I don't know if it'll be out by now or... I had a belt popped off on the Simplicity, and this pulley is rotted. So I'm going to see if we can get that. The belts could be expensive, $60. So let me show you this belt. Somehow it got twisted, right? And that's actually the inside of the belt, and then that's the back side. Let me see if I can find the part number. I did find it. This is supposed to be like a 96.5 inch belt. What the hell is it? Oh, look, it's down here. Look, it twisted around again. See, that's the part number area. So it wound up cutting like a double V. So it's like a rope. It's actually not in bad shape. I don't know how it got spun around. It's actually a good belt. Anyway, let me show you. So that was 96 inch, 96.5. So I wound up finding a belt I had. It's a little shorter. This is a 95. And I managed to get the idler to pull back all the way. It's this pulley that's rotted, and it fits. What I did was I put some two-stroke on it, and it wiped it down. It's been sitting in the basement for a while. It was dry. That should be good. What the two-stroke does is it cleans it off, and it sort of allows it to flex a little bit. And I've been cutting with it. It seems to be fine. So I guess today is like one of those days where you got like a million things to do. You know, you can't get anywhere. Now, I did this a couple of years ago, and it still looks good. I did put some clear on the side because I wanted to protect the sticker. So just take some heavy-duty corrosion inhibitor, or chain wax, something that's a wax, and you just need a rag. I'm going to use a recycled lint-free. And this is a bit of gas, old gas. Mineral spirits that work good. Just get it on the towel, and you'll see. Now, I just put a little bit of silicone on it and a little bit sprayed over here. It's like a mixture of actual brake fluid silicone, brake fluid .5, I think it is. And I did this, and I did the steering wheel because the steering wheel was sticky and stuff was coming off. You know how they get. And then a little bit of, you could use it straight, but I find that it's a bit too much. And then just wipe it on. Wipe the whole machine down. And if you got rust and everything, it will stop it from rusting. And it'll look good. All right, let's do the hood too. See how nice that looks? I'll do the whole thing. I used my acid wash first, and I got up like the rust that was here. It was a lot of like little rust pimples and everything. I didn't even clean it. Right? I'm not even cleaning it. I'm just doing this. The sides. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough. All right, I'm going to finish it up. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, and when it dries, you can actually buff it out. I mean, it's not going to make it all that much prettier, not like silicone, but it's waterproof, stop the rust, and it'll make it look a little bit nicer. All right. Boy, I'm so glad I made this. I don't know when I'm posting the video on all that. She's running real good. So this guy, he dropped this thing off. Now it's like a couple of years ago. He even gave me some money to start work on it. And then I got banned on Messenger, right? Because I'm in all these different groups, and one of the admins decided that I didn't fit the profile of the group. Fair enough. So when they kick you out, they just shut you down. They just ban my whole profile, everything. And then they look to see, you know, if everything's okay, and they resolved it. And they resolved it right away. I mean, that's just the standard thing that they do. I get it. There's no issues with that. And then when I went back to Messenger, everything was like all archived. And I tell and contact thousands of messages. I have no, he knows me. He was here. Here's my number. I lost all of that because I'm, you know, with diabetes and everything else. Sometimes I can't even think and talk straight. But he has everything. Never contacted me again. I guess he gave up. I'm thinking, this is years now. I mean, I guess you guys, what do you guys think? I mean, it's been years. This is like maybe 3? I lost track. I'm thinking it's mine now, right? So it's in pretty good shape. I feel bad because he even gave me some money and he said it was in his family. I think it's his wife's, his father-in-law or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're going to take a look at this. I want to put it away for now. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the horror, right? We got to clean up, right? That's why I got to make it like a week of it. Now this guy, I muscled this. The tires are dead flat. So I muscled it back here with the tractor, which is fine. So this is like more of cold storage for now. I got that one to part out. That's the twin to the one I've been restoring. So that's my parts machine. We got to get rid of the VW. I got to clean up back here, right? And we'll take a look at some of the others. So, but this one's pretty nice. I'm going to get in a little closer in a minute. So I can drag it with this guy, I can lift it, we're going to put some stop leak in these tires before they die completely. I just put air in this one, and I'm going to put air in the other one, and then I'm going to spin them around with the stop leak in them while it's just up in the air while I'm cleaning up over here. So we got the deck to the John Deere, the Cub Cadet's going to get sold, something wrong with the motor, we're going to have fun with that. The Craftsman, I don't know if it ran or what happened. We got to get rid of that. This one I made run. This one had a fire, but it runs, and probably doesn't run now. But this one can actually be cleaned up. The tires are holding air. The hood underneath is in decent shape. It needs a repaint, but what we have is a decent. I might have. It's a 17. It may not be a 17 horsepower. Well, it might be. I think the hood is wrong. So. Yeah, but the tires seem to be holding air. We're going to check on that. These are dead. We're going to go through it. This is my big Mamba. This guy, and this might be the right hood, 20 horsepower. We want to air up the tires. I think we're going to part this thing out. It's really rusty. You would think it's bad. Like, I don't know if I want to really fool with it. So we want to get that out of there and try to air it up. The deck might be good, which means the parts can go on that. So we got to get that done. We want to do a Willet run on this big motor. This is the deck for Ugly Alice. This is a parts deck. It's actually brand new, but I don't think I'm going to sell it. I think I'm just going to part it. I need the parts, and I need the steel for the other decks. Let's go wander over here for a minute. So these guys are also mine. One of the tires in the front was a little leaky. I put some stop leak in it. This thing runs. Needs belts, and that's the deck, the Ugly Alice deck. Needs bearings. This one, I have the deck. It'll actually fit in my yard. That's that yellow deck. Needs bearings. I was just fooling around a little bit. I got it in neutral. I think it's missing linkages. I think it's missing this one. Mikey, where's this? I got one here. Where's the other one? What happened? I might have to, if I don't have that from like a Sears or something, I might be able to make it from something, or I gotta buy it. He says it ran. We don't know how well, but it's in beautiful shape. This is the one with the shattered hood. I'd like to put the deck on it, and this could be, my sort of daily lawnmower when I'm not using Big Bertha. And I don't think anybody's gonna buy it without a hood, and this is an older unit. Designed for safety and comfort, it says up in there. I don't know what all those switches are for, but this would be fun, comfortable, easy to use. The deck is, nice deck. This guy's just for fun, right? It's got looks like somebody put I think Mikey said he put a new carburetor on it or something. That's nice. And then the other one we're going to get rid of. Let's take a walk through here. Right, this is the Willet run, right? You'll see. I'm gonna clean up in here too today. Because I got this Craftsman for sale, right? I gotta fix it. We gotta fix this. This is still big. This is getting big on the channel. We gotta finish that. It's actually doing good. People like these. I wouldn't mind keeping it. We'll see. And this was definitely selling. Mike is gonna be so mad. So we gotta fix the belt and figure out what fell apart. Something fell apart. It vibrates too much. The engine does. So I'm gonna back this in. Plan is make some room here, move this thing, move this junk, and I'm gonna use the big post thing, and we're gonna lift it up on its side so I can get in there. So I gotta make room in here too today after I'm done moving stuff. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Let's take a look at that yard machine again. Now the tractor that the fellow left here is a yard machine, and I was watching some videos on it just to see if I could, understand the machine a little bit better. Oh, and this one guy who fixes a lot of these things, he was talking about it, and he was filming his neighbor, sort of surreptitiously, because he tried to fix the thing, and he's like, I can only put so much time and money into this thing, otherwise you might just buy a whole new lawnmower. A guy was really struggling to cut the lawn, and he was saying is that on some of these decks, when you go to engage the deck, what's really happening is the deck is kind of coming down and leaning, being shoved into the belt to tighten it up. There's no preset, on the belt pulleys or anything. And what can happen is when you're driving it over like grass that gets real thick or maybe too heavy, it gets shoved back, it can't handle it, the pulleys start to slip, the blades stall, and you can kind of see it, and it was kind of sad. So it's not a great machine. A lot of people don't like it. You'll see which one. It seems to be in okay shape. I suppose it's worth, us kind of going through and getting it running, and I don't know. So if you guys can help me out with that one, that would be good. We'll get deeper into it when I'm ready, but we're just going to kind of go a quick once over. And also, I'm just kind of rearranging the shop and trying to make it a little bit more effective. So this is like one of the first videos in that series of trying to rearrange a few things, clean up in the yard, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So stay tuned. If I have any more questions, I'll come back, because I think there's another question that I was thinking about a little while ago, and I'm like, why don't you ask the fellas out there and see if they know anything about it? So I'm drawing a blank. Welcome to like diabetes and stuff and getting older. There's some minutes where I think some of you guys know me, like I'm on, right? And other minutes where I'm saying stuff that it's not the right thing to say or whatever. You kind of like blank out, right? Because the sugar levels go up and down, and then all of a sudden I'll get real tired, and it's not easy, but hey, I just want to keep you guys inspired and keep you guys thinking and moving forward, and regardless of what's going on in the world today, right? Let's just keep at it and keep smoking them. I'll see you guys in a bit. This tire is holding air, and the other tire, I got to put some air in the front tires. They seem to have some air in them. This tire, I could see some stuff leaking out of the flat spot. Might have like that thin stop leak in there. I put some in, kept moving it across, over the course of the afternoon. Filled it up with air again. I don't see it leaking anymore. And they would have been in decent shape. And I guess they still are, right? If I should be able to get it to stop leaking. Now, I went underneath and I got the valve, the transmission shift valve to work, the valve that's on the tranny. This is basically forward and reverse with a neutral. Not really a fan of the MTD style. 12.5 horsepower, cast iron sleeve, that's nice. So the tires are fairly decent, the rims, everything is basically in good shape. It will not move forward. I can't find a release valve anywhere for the transmission. I don't know much about these trannies. So, tried the clutch. Doesn't matter. What happens is, when you have it up, right, when you go spin the wheel like one direction, the other wheel spins in the other direction. And it's locked, like it's hard locked in that mode. It could be maybe if we get it running and we can spin the tranny with the engine, maybe it'll free up. He said there is a release. I don't remember now. We couldn't find one. I can't find one. I had it up in the air. It was underneath there with the flashlight. Anyway, I'm going to park it back in that hole. Yeah, so decent Briggs, 12.5 with the cast sleeve, which is good. We're going to do, we'll run at least. We'll get this thing cleaned up soon. It's not in bad shape. It'd be a shame to part it out, right? All right, let me get some air in the front tires and push this thing back. It's starting to get late. It's called Shift on the Go. 38-inch deck. That's a good deck size for my property. All right, so I cleaned up a little bit over here. I neatened up. Probably gonna use the parts. This is the Deutz Alice deck. It's in good shape. It looks rude, but it's the spindles spin and everything seems to need belts. Probably gonna take that 46-inch deck and use it for parts rather than sell it, because what am I gonna get for it if I sell it? It's a very specific type of deck. It's in good shape, and I need metal to repair other things. So straighten up over here. We'll pull these out next time. If I have a little bit more energy, we'll pull this one out and clean behind there and get it aired up. So it's a roller. The idea is to make rollers out of it. All right, let me move this thing. And the tire valve's on the inside and the front. So I gotta climb underneath there. All right, this way I'll be able to snatch it when I'm ready. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next one. And the next one, we're going to kind of go over a little bit of me moving some stuff around with my big tractor. And a little bit more views of like me trying to figure out what I can actually put on those forks. And enjoying that, moving stuff around. It's a little bit too heavy for me. I've got a bad back, and I've had it for years, and there was one point where I was absolutely crippled. So as I age and get older, and I have more mobility, I'm getting used to it and healing, I want to make sure I stay like that. I had the guys here the other day, and the dude picked up that big motor I was working on for that pulley weld, and he's a big guy, but he was younger than me, and he just picked it up, bear hugged it, and put it over. I used to be able to do that like all the time. I looked at him like, I'm not doing that anymore. Nope, I can. Maybe I won't hurt myself. Maybe I won't notice it. See you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for the next segment in moving some stuff around. I think we're getting the shop kind of like arranged now and cleaned up. I know some of my friends have mentioned it because they watch some of my videos, and they're like, what did you do to your shop? Hopefully inspired you guys to do something kind of cool like what I'm doing. You never know what you're going to come across, and you never know what you could make until you try. And the worst thing is, guys, is you fail, right? Try again till you either get it right or give up and try something different. I'll see you guys in the next one.